Good morning, everyone. Welcome to How to Book Cruises with Krista, special edition. We are going to be going through the ins and outs of cruising. Again, you guys have a choice when you come to trainings, and I'm glad that all of you guys have joined me here today to get this information from somebody who has actually spent a good portion of time on a cruise ship. You guys, you can either take information from somebody that reads a lot or somebody that's experienced and done it. And I'm glad that all of you have come to go through that with me. I do have over 100 days at sea across multiple cruise lines. So this list has been compiled for years. I think I went on my very first cruise when I was 12 years old. And I have been cruising more consistently in the last decade. I think I started cruising again when my oldest was 9, and he will be 18 next month. So let's go ahead and share my screen. Let's go up here. All right, you guys. Also, you guys, just so you guys are very aware, anytime you guys see any cruise photos that I post, whether it be in these presentations or in my flyers, anytime it has to do with a cruise, they are pictures that I have personally taken. So this cruise photo here, it probably looks like I am outside of the cruise ship, right? But I don't. I actually had a bubble out room, meaning that it kind of stuck out for the side of the ship. And so I did reach over just a little bit to get this shot. But I just wanted you guys to know that these are pictures that I personally took, did not take them from the internet. So let me go ahead and put up, yes, Travel by Tilly on YouTube, you guys. Travel by Tilly on YouTube. All right, again, my name is Krista Wiley. I am a double gold consultant, you guys, and also it is important for me to tell you that my cruising is not just been from a family standpoint. I have also cruised. I've cruised with my family. I've cruised with friends. I've cruised in large groups. And I've cruised just my husband and I. So I've taken it from all sides. Ironically enough, before I became a travel agent, I used to book group cruises all the time. Wasn't making the commission, so that kind of stunk. But all right, you guys. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure to leave these slides up for a little while, so that way you guys can take pictures. There are going to be some slides that are a little wordy, and I apologize, but I did it so that you guys could take a picture. Now I have a question, you guys. I have the chat box up over here on the right hand side. Does it show a like a gray box? Can you guys tell that my chat box is open? Put it in the chat for me. No? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure my chat box doesn't interfere with what's on the screen. All right, you guys. Our cruise leaves next month, right? Like cruising takes lots of planning. So as the days get closer, your brain goes into overdrive as the passenger. Here are some things to make sure are already completed. First, check in online. This helps for a speedy check-in at the embarkation port. Yes, it is normal for them to be asked to input a credit card. This is what will be used for onboard expenses. If your client prefers paying their onboard expenses with cash, they do have that option, but will have to pay down their tab every day. Inquire with specific cruise lines. So I know for me personally, one of the cruises that I went on was with my best friend and my oldest, and we were obviously in the same cabin, and she wanted to make sure that she was paying for hers and I was paying for mine. And so what we did was I think mine was on my card, and then she would just pay her portion with cash. So my card wasn't attached to her account. But that is going to be cruise line specific. So if there's somebody who wants to use cash instead of getting that absorbent cost at the end, they are able to do that. The next one is going to be print out luggage tabs. When they arrive to the embarkation port, porters will promptly take your luggage and you want your bags labeled already to speed up the process. Here is a link to a cool luggage tag to secure your paper tags. Now there are 2 links. You guys make sure I I think it's called hyperlinking. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but basically where you take a really, really, really long link and you put it through a process and you make it a shorter link. But throughout this entire presentation, there are going to be lots of links for you guys. So compatible with Royal Caribbean and celebrity tags, and then all other cruise lines. Now you guys can save these. You guys can look them up right now, whichever you prefer. But these luggage tags are actually plastic, and they have like a strong metal. And so it looks like kind of like a Ziploc bag, but obviously very thick plastic material. But they go ahead and they put their paper luggage tags in there. They seal it up, and then that way it is nice and secure. What I have found in all of my cruising, the problem is that people will take the paper luggage tags, they'll put it on and then they'll staple it or tape it. And because it is paper, obviously paper rips. So the paper luggage tags, they'll rip, and then they have a little bit harder time finding what room your luggage tag or which room your luggage belongs to. So I just use those, and I actually have them on my, I keep them on my luggage at all times. So it's kind of funny, even when I'm not cruising, sometimes I have cruise luggage tags on there. All right, packing, the worst part of the whole trip. You guys, who thinks packing is the worst part of the whole trip? Any trip, you guys, right? Like packing stinks. It comes down to packing it and then weighing it and then taking things out, and then you got to leave enough space because everybody knows that you're gonna buy something, right? Hashtag me, I'm doing it right now. Are you guys? So this picture right here on the right hand side, this is our luggage. We took a cruise 9 years ago, and it was my very first Alaskan cruise. And we actually took the train from LA up to Seattle, spent a couple days in Seattle, and then took the train from Seattle to Vancouver, Canada, where we got on the cruise ship. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this black and gray bag over here. That bag is actually completely full of food and water. Because you were able to bring your own food and water on the train. So I was able to pack enough, just snacks and water and stuff, things that we didn't need to spend money on there. And then because it was a duffel bag, I was able to crumple it up and throw it in a suitcase. But this was the luggage for 3 of us. So you guys can see it's quite a bit of stuff. I don't know who has the iPhone, but you're scribbling on the screen. I don't know if you know that you're doing that. It may be accidental. So you guys, we all know the typical things to pack, but it's the things that you don't think of that you'll need the most. Remember, your client is on a ship, not a hotel. They can't just hop on down to the local store. I can't tell you how many times I've medicated table mates. Now, table mates, you guys, you're probably like, what in the heck is a table mate? So for those of you that have never been on a cruise, a couple of things. One, when you go to the main dining hall, you usually are sat at a larger table than just your party. So if it's you and another person cruising, you might be at a table with like 6, meaning that you're going to have other people that you don't know. Now, this is something that you guys can choose when you are booking the trip table size. You can do a table of 6, a table of 8, 10, or just for your party. Now, you guys, I'm all about meeting people. For those of you that have gone to any of my trainings or have ever met you, I always tell you there's no such thing as strangers, just people I've never met. Now, when we took our 18-day cruise, not that I didn't love my son and my roommate and my best friend, but I wanted to get to know other people. So I wanted to we wanted to sit with other people and get to know other people. And we actually sat at a table with a husband and wife from England. And so we got to really know over 18 days, those people from England and the way of life and all of those other things. So that was super neat. So that's what I mean by table mates. I've actually met One cruise I sat with honeymooners, I sat with sisters, and I actually still talk to one of those sisters till this day. She lives in Texas, and we've kind of followed each other. So it's kind of neat just to get to know people. Same thing when you guys go to the buffet. I know you guys, I'm not talking COVID right now. I'm talking, you know, the way cruise was and the way cruise will get back to going. But even when you guys go to the buffet, how many times do you walk around? You're like, oh, there's no tables, but you see a table, you know, that maybe sits six, but there's only 2 people sitting at it. It is very common practice for people to say, hey, do you mind if I sit here? And so you really get to know people, and you know, you get to share that experience. For a fairly comprehensive list, please visit this link. I say fairly because even it's missing a few things, but it is a good place for you guys to get started. It's kind of an interactive checkbox kind of a thing. Here is a list of my must-haves for every cabin. So I say cabin, basically for every party, right? So for me, because we usually travel with 6, we always have 2 cabins. So within those 2 cabins, we always have this information. Okay, so you guys, a small pharmacy to include motion sick medicine. You guys, this is a question that comes up a lot. My 2 recommendation is meclizine. It's over the counter. They usually sell it in 25 milligrams, and the dose for meclizine is 25 milligrams to 50 milligrams. I tell people always to start with 25 and then work up to 50 milligrams. Now, if you're somebody that's inclined to motion sickness, like me, I actually start taking my motion sick medicine 24 hours prior to getting on the cruise ship. Over the counter, so that's over the counter, and I take it every morning. The second option is scopolamine transdermal patches. It is a prescription. They're patches that go behind the ear, and they last for 72 hours. And you guys, trust me, I've tried everything. I have tried Dramamine. I've tried pressure point bands. I've tried the gamut. I have tried them all. You guys, I literally, like, if you talk about motion sickness, I have it the worst of anyone I have ever met. I literally get motion sick if I were to spin around in a circle in my office chair. Like, I would get sick. So people always tell me, then why do you cruise? Because I love cruising. I'm not going to let my motion sick stop me from cruising. So again, if you know, meclizine over the counter, that's actually what I use now. I used to use the transdermal patches, but a couple of cruises ago, I made the mistake of actually touching the patch and touching my eye, and it made my vision blurry for a couple of days. Thankfully, I had my glasses that I don't ever use. They're reading glasses. And so I put those on, and it helped that blurriness. But again, you guys, I went on that 18-day cruise. I used nothing but the meclizine, and I was fine. The very first day is a little rough, but I use meclizine because it's not drowsy, and you can still drink alcohol while on meclizine. I know that's a huge issue for people as well. I do still carry the patches with me just in case. Because, for instance, when we went through the Tasman Sea, it's the sea between New Zealand and Australia. It's actually where they have the World Sailing Contest. So just imagine how rough those waters are. I actually never needed to use the patches, but I wanted to have them just in case. The next one is Imodium and stool softener. People will be eating differently than they are used to, and they will be happy they have this if and when they need it. Now, you guys, Imodium and stool softener are probably the 2 medications I've probably given the most, because people just don't think about it. They're used to eating what they're used to eating. And now they're on a cruise ship. They're eating international. The foods are heavy, maybe a little bit more spicy, a little bit more greasy, whatever the case may be. So make sure that you have that. Personally, my oldest, he actually got constipated on a cruise ship from this exact thing. And so I was thankful that I had that stool softener for him. So you guys absolutely make sure you throw in a box or 2 of each of these. What I do recommend is that you guys always read how many pills are in a box, because the last thing you want is to get a box that maybe has 6 pills in it and you're going to be gone for 2 weeks, because that's, you know, okay, you got relief for a couple of days, but that's it. All right, continuing on. Allergy medications. You never know when someone may be allergic to the fauna in these new destinations, right? We all have seasonal allergies. Okay, I shouldn't say everyone. Some people are blessed, but a lot of people have seasonal allergies. So now you're going to be going to places like Honduras and Belize, and you're going to be walking through rainforests. Maybe you're going to go to the, you're going to go to some zoo or rainforest New Zealand or Australia or something like that. The last thing you want is to have an allergy, flare up and you don't have anything for allergies. Another one that's a huge one, and I would be lying to say if I've never used it, but is cold and flu medicine. I'm not hoping they get sick, but you want to be prepared. Same thing, make sure you count the number of pills in the box. That way it can, at least last you a good length of time. The next one is breathe right strips. Now my family always laughs. Everybody always laughs. They're like, why are you bringing breathe right strips? The damp ocean air can actually cause a stuffy nose. So you don't want to be all the time, right? Especially if they, whatever the case may be, they're not used to damp air. Astrid asks, is there a pharmacy on the ship to get some of this? Astrid, not really. There is a, like a hotel has like a gift shop. They do have a gift shop, but I will tell you over time, looking in these gift shops, one, you're going to pay out the nose. Two, it's never going to be enough. It's going to be like a packet of Motrin, right? So do yourself a favor, go down to Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, whatever you guys have, and pick this stuff up. You are going to save a lot of money, and if you don't use it, you don't use it. That's fine. But better to have it than not to, and don't pay the prices on a cruise ship. It can get expensive. The second one is going to be peppermint candies. Yes, you guys, as a medicine, it helps with nausea. So you guys know, like the red and white hard candy peppermints, take a package of those, throw them in your suitcase. They actually help with nausea. Something else that actually helps with nausea, if you guys are on a cruise ship and you get nauseous for any reason, hangover, motion sickness, whatever the case may be, green apples can actually help you with nausea as well. But I always just throw a package of peppermint candies, those hard peppermint candies in my suitcase. Never leave home without over-the-counter heartburn medicine, Tums, Nexium, Prilosec, etc. So always have that in there. Again, you guys, you're trying new foods, you're experiencing new things. You don't want to be on the ship and be overcome with heartburn, especially since milk isn't always readily available. The heartburn medicine will absolutely help. Yes, absolutely. Astrid ginger is excellent for nausea. It doesn't always work for me, but it is like people will, what is that? Ginger ale. I think that's part of it, is like, I can't stomach ginger ale. It actually makes me more nauseous. It's kind of weird. But yes, you guys can absolutely, ginger ale helps. However, not all cruise ships carry ginger ale. So yes, I know some people will get like ginger tabs. I'm not sure how that works. Motrin and or Tylenol. No one wants to have a hangover they can't treat. So make sure, I mean, not just that, but being funny, but not just that. I mean, if you guys are going to be out and about, people tend to do more adventurous things when they're on cruises. You come back and you got, those muscle aches or whatnot. You want to be able to have something to treat those minor pains. Any prescription medications. So any prescription medications. This is a big one. I can't, people, it's funny. I did look up online to see what was the #1 prescription medication that people forget. And ironically enough, it's birth control. Birth control is the #1 prescription medication forgotten, either to be brought in or to take while they're on a ship. So just make sure that you guys pack all of those prescription medications. For those of you that are diabetics, you know, whether you know, if you're diabetics and you're going to be taking insulin or whatnot, you guys can actually put that on, you guys can actually put that in the notes on the cruise ship, and some cruise lines can actually provide you with a sharp container, or at least there be a waiver. So when they go to check your suit, you know, they're checking your suitcase and they see sharps, make sure that's something that is noted. Also, you guys, if for some reason you have somebody with you that is on oxygen or something like that, make sure that you are communicating that with the cruise line as well. Now, some space saving items. For anybody that has been on a cruise, you guys can understand this, but for those of you that haven't been on a cruise, the rooms are not very big. Now, if you get into like your junior suites, your suites and those kinds of things, obviously those rooms have, you know, they're a lot bigger, more spacious. However, if you're cruising in an interior, in an ocean view, the rooms are not very big. So you have to learn how to optimize your space, especially the bathroom. You guys, the shower in most rooms is about the size of a shower in an RV. So basically you can turn in a circle and get hit by water. But you know, for us ladies, shaving our legs in a cruise ship shower is not easy. It kind of looks like some kind of twister maneuver. So space saving items that I've seen that are super helpful is a hanging toiletry bag. One of those ones that you can hang like, you know, there's like a towel, there's usually like a towel hook or something on the back of the bathroom door. Get a toiletry bag that can hang there. Just because there's not a lot of cabinet space or counter space, they do have some, but if you're somebody that has a lot of hair products or a lot of, you know, whatever products, that will absolutely help save some space in the shower area. Also, you guys, most cruise lines do have their own shampoo, you know, they'll have the dispensers with shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. But if you're like me and you want specifics, I bring my own. Magnetic hooks. There's never enough places to hang wet bathing suits, lanyards, small handbags, light jackets, etc. Right? So then you always have this stuff like laying around on the desk, you have it laying on the bed, it ends up on the floor, and then all of a sudden you guys get ready to leave and you're like, where's my lanyard? Somebody can't find something. So there's a link here. There is a link here for the magnetic hooks. You guys, FYI, the walls in cruise ships are metal. So you literally can hang magnets all over your room, and it will help. So they're these little, they're heavy duty, so they can actually hold a fair amount. But I usually hang these up, and my kids know, like, this is your hook. You're going to come in the room, hang your lanyard. You're going to, you know, here is your bathing suit hook. So when you go to take your bathing suit off, you hang it on the hook. Because usually what happens in the bathroom is there's that small clothesline. Narcus said, I put this link and it takes me to Amazon, but not the product itself. Okay, I'm gonna have to check on that, but just write down they're heavy duty magnetic hooks. And what they look like, let me, just so you guys can see, I apologize, I did not check to see if the links worked. I guess I could have done that. I apologize. Let me see if I can. Let me show you guys what they are, because I think it's important that everybody sees these. Heavy duty magnetic. These are literally a lifesaver. And they're cheap, and you guys can buy all different kinds. I actually use them around my house too to hang like holiday decorations and stuff. But you guys can literally just hang these up anywhere inside the cabin, and you guys are able to, you guys can, you know, hang your stuff on there. This doesn't show very heavy stuff on it, but it shows somebody using it at home. But honestly, it is a, it's a great thing to have in your cruise room. You're not going to be able to click the links on your screen, but I can. Let me see if I can actually, I did it kind of in a hurry last night, so I apologize. So it looks like I'm able to click on the links, probably because I'm the one in the presentation. But you can see here, this was the link for them. Let me go ahead. Since the link thing didn't work, I'm going to put it in the chat box. All right. So does that mean that you guys weren't able to get the other ones as well? Because I can always, let me go back real fast and give you these links. So these are those, the tags I was talking about. I want to make sure that you guys get the stuff. So give me a second. Let me give them to you. All right, you guys. So I gave you those ones. Here's that packing list I was talking about. I think that is all of the links I have given you so far. So I gave you guys the magnetic hooks. Yep. Okay. So those are the magnetic hooks, you guys. I guarantee you they will save a lot of consternation in the cabin. All right. The next thing is miscellaneous items, right? So just different things here and there that I have picked up along the way that I think have helped a lot. The first one is a first aid kit. You don't want to go to the infirmary for a Band-Aid. I really like this one as it has safety pins and a flashlight in it. So let me go ahead and share this. And you guys, when I was looking up these different things for you guys, I made sure that they were cost efficient. You know, we're not trying to spend millions of dollars, but you guys can see it has little antiseptic wipes. It has, you know, a flashlight, it has safety pins, you know, all different kinds of stuff for you guys to get in there. Always make sure to have a first aid kit of some sort. Yes, there is an infirmary, but you know, you'd hate to, you know, it'd be nicer just to go to your room and go get a Band-Aid. There's never enough plugs. There's never enough plugs in your cabin. And how will I be able to go back and watch the whole training since it's recorded? I will share it later, Summer. There's never enough plugs. So there is a cruise approved power strip that I do want to show you guys. And you guys can see here, it says it is cruise compliant because it is not a surge protector. So you guys, there's always, you know, there are plugs, but there's not enough plugs in the room. And so it's nice. It has USB. It also has a couple of those plugs as well. The other thing that I would recommend is getting a Euro plug. If you guys don't have one, I understand that your guys' stuff is not going to take the Euro spot, but get the adapter. That way you can use it as another US port. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat box for you. And obviously you guys can come through here and there's always like different packages, but I wanted to show you guys the individual items. Some other things that I have found along the way that are helpful is Downy wrinkle spray, a lint roller, a spot remover pin, you know, the little pins that'll take little spots off your shirt, a mini sewing kit. Yes, I've used it. I actually had a button pop off my dress. So I had to do a quick little sew. Obviously it wasn't anything seamstress like, but you know, it got the button back on so that I could salvage the dress while I was on the trip. Let's see, some bug spray. You guys are going to be going to different places. Mosquitoes are real, so make sure that you have some bug spray, aloe, because let's face it, somebody's going to get sunburnt somewhere. A little bottle of witch hazel. It's like Windex to the Greeks. If you guys don't know what witch hazel is, I suggest you guys get some witch hazel. It's amazing for bug bites, for sunburns, for any, like a rash, anything. What I usually do is I'll buy a big bottle of, I'll buy the big bottle of witch hazel, and then I'll put it into like a to-go bottle, you know, like the little like shampoo bottles or whatnot. Bring a refillable water bottle, because you guys can always, you know, put water in them. I don't know about you guys, but I hate just a sip of water. You know, if you're going around, you're just going to get a cup of water. I want to be able to have like a thing of water that I can fill up and carry around with me. So a refillable water bottle, a beach towel. Now, I know this is something that sound, you know, maybe you're on two sides of the fence. Well, why do I need a beach towel? They have their own towels. Or you're like, why would you not bring your own beach towel, right? You guys, so on the pool deck, right, they're going to give you towels. However, their towels look like everybody else's towels. So if you're trying to save your seat on, you know, on the pool deck while you're going to get a drink, or, you know, maybe you're going to get a snack or something like that, I always bring our own beach towels because people know, oh, like that belongs to somebody. It's not just towels left behind. So I bring my own beach towel. Is the free water good? Is investing in a bottled water worth it? You guys, I usually drink the water that they have. It's filtered. So, I mean, it's filtered through their reverse osmosis on the ship. And so I think it's good, but I'm not super particular about my water, but a lot of people drink the water on there. The bottles of water are usually good when you're like leaving the ship, because you don't really know what the water content is going to be wherever you're going. The other thing is going to be towel clips. So I did put a link here for that. These towel clips, they're big enough. Sometimes people they'll get towel clips that won't actually secure around like a sun lounger. So I got these ones, and then my family, they always, I want the green ones, I want the pink ones, I want the blue ones, right? And so we get these, they're big enough to hold on there. Here is the link for that. Towel clips, it's breezy on the pool deck, and this will help secure your beach towel to reserve your seat while you are in the pool spot, etc. It's also nice if you guys are going to a, you know, you get off the cruise ship, maybe you're going to go sit on the beach, or you're doing an excursion that takes you to a resort where you're sitting on the beach. That way you guys can also secure your towels to those chairs. Now, a lanyard with a detachable card holder makes it easier to give your card when paying for things. Lanyards help you not lose your CPAS card, and now with vaccination cards. So I did go ahead and put this one. This is a very, very generic one, or inexpensive, I should say. Me personally, I always, you know, it's kind of like people when they go to Disneyland, they have their own lanyard and their passes are hanging from it. I have something similar to that, but I have, I always have these clips. So when you guys, if you guys are doing, whether you're doing the drink package or buying drinks separately, they're going to take the card and they're going to go scan it. So what I do is I just pop it off, I unclip it, and I toss it on their tray. That way they can go do it and bring it back. I'm not having to take the lanyard off my neck, give it to them, or pull my card out. Like, I like it. It's kind of like having a single key versus your key on your keychain, less likely to lose. So again, here's some different colored ones. And then you guys can see here, there's either a clip or the little thing you loop through. So just an idea, not that you guys have to specifically use those ones. But lanyards are huge, and you guys, I will tell you that if you or your client does not take a lanyard with them, they're going to arrive to the cruise port and they're going to be selling them. And that's when your client's going to be like, oh man, that looks like a really great idea. And they're going to pay 2 times the price. Yes, absolutely. It could be great gifts for your customers, right? You know, so that's, you know, looking at 2 different sides of the business, either for you cruising or for your clients. It is absolutely something that you could be sending. A couple of these things could actually be great gifts for your clients: towel clips, the luggage tags. You know, maybe Maybe you print out the luggage tags for them and you put them inside those plastic things and you mail those off to them. So lots of different great ideas for them. Now your carry-on bags. So for those of you that have never cruised, what happens is you're going to get to the embarkation port and they're going to take your luggage. Now they screen the luggage for all those no-no items that aren't supposed to be in your bags. And then they deliver them to your room. Now that process can take hours. Now I'm telling you, like, there has been times that we've been like in the first group of people on the ship and we haven't gotten our bags till almost dinner time. So it can take some time to get your bags. Now, the second that you get on the cruise ship, you are going to be able to start having fun, right? Go to the pool, eat, go to different shows, classes, whatnot. But you're not going to have your luggage, your main luggage. And oftentimes you're actually not going to be able to get into your cabin for several hours until after you get on the ship. So some items that I recommend that you put in a carry-on bag, and that can be like a simple backpack, is a bathing suit with sandals, because I can't tell you how many times like we'll get on the cruise ship and I'm like, I'm wearing tennis shoes. I have my bathing suit, but I have my tennis shoes. So that was something I rectified real fast. Make sure that you are either walking on board with sandals on, or you pack them in that bag. So bathing suit and sandals, any prescription meds you may need to take. And this is, I stress this because especially for diabetics or people that need to take their certain medications at certain times, you don't want them to be panicking because they don't have their suitcase. So make sure that they do have those prescription meds on them if they need to take it. Pins and a highlighter, sunscreen, lanyard, and any important documents. I will be going over this a little bit more in depth shortly. Now, you guys, this is where I get a little wordy. I apologize. Take some pictures, but I didn't want to explain a lot of things. Before I move on, I guess I should say, does anybody have any questions with the packing stuff? Anything up into this point? You guys are free to unmute yourself if you'd like, or you guys can put it in the chat box. Any questions on that front? No? All right. All right. Did you know, I guess I was not paying attention to time, so I'm going to have to kind of cruise through these and then we'll take questions. Did you know cruise ships have themed nights? Make sure your clients know so they can bring appropriate attire, i.e. 70s night, Hawaiian luau, all white night, etc. The main dining hall has a dress code. You guys, this is a pet peeve of mine, like literally drives me nuts. Why are you going to go to a dining hall with a dress code and go against the dress code? Like, it's not hard. So here I have the definitions for you. Formal, that does not mean a ball gown. It does not mean anything like that. Formal is a cocktail dress or elegant pantsuit for ladies and a dark suit or dress pants and sports coat for men. Now, if you guys don't want to dress up for formal night, that's fine. You don't have to eat in the dining hall. There are other eating establishments on the cruise ship. Smart casual is going to be pants and open neck shirts for men and skirts or dresses, slacks and sweaters for the ladies. Casual. Now there is usually the first night of the cruise is going to be casual. Again, haven't gotten your luggage yet. Jeans and collared shirts for men, sundresses or pants with blouses for the ladies, no baseball caps allowed. Even some cruise lines won't allow flip-flops in their dining halls. So just make sure before you cruise that you know how many of these are they're going to be. That way you bring accordingly. If you guys general standing, if you guys are going on a 7-day, there are going to be 2 formal nights. It's usually captain's dinner and usually the last night of the cruise. When ordering your food in the formal dining hall, you can order as many appetizers, main courses, and desserts. No need to fret if you can't decide. Literally, if you're like, oh my gosh, 4 appetizers sound amazing and none of the main courses sound good, order all of those appetizers and then head straight to dessert afterwards. So whatever you guys want to eat, especially on surf and turf night, people will order lobster tail over and over and over and over again. Not only is there an infirmary, there's also a mortuary and a jail on board. I just thought I would put that little piece of information in there for you guys. There is a curfew for kids. I mean, it is later, but there is a curfew for kids, as well as many onboard kid club offerings. Second dining or late dining is the best and will be the first to book up. This is because the early dining is too close to set sail at ports, making you rush to get ready or making you board sooner than required. So if you're at port from 7 to, maybe you're at port from 8 to 6, but dinner's at 5:30 or 5, then you're going to have to get on board a couple hours early so that way you can, take showers, get ready to go to dinner. There's also another option, which is called anytime dining. I have tried it a couple of times. It's not for me. It might be for others, but it's basically like going to a busy restaurant. You get there, you put your name on the list, and then they'll seat you when there's a table available. Muster drill is boring and takes forever. Suck it up, Buttercup, and get there as fast as possible so you can get back to enjoying your vacation. COVID may have changed the requirements since the last time you were on board. Pay attention. Also, make sure that you locate vests in your cabin. This is super important if you're traveling with children, because, for instance, the very first cruise that my daughter went on, they actually did not have a life vest in our room for her size. So make sure that you have the appropriate size vests in your room. I do know I was actually on the phone with some FC members when they went through their muster drill, and what their muster drill was they watched something on the television, then they had to pick up the phone, dial a code, then they had to go to their muster drill, check in, and then they were out. So it really, may have changed. Oh, you're welcome, Malia. Yes, I will make sure that this, so muster drill is how you're going to disembark the ship in case of a emergency. So the last thing is the muster drill. Says COVID may have changed the requirements since the last time you were on board. Pay attention. Also make sure that you locate vests in your cabin. So the muster drill is going to be like how, what's your exit plan? Everybody is going to be assigned basically a lifeboat. And so it is you getting to know where you're going to go in the in the case of an emergency. And so it is mandated by the Coast Guard that a drill is gone through before they set sail, and every person on the ship has to be in attendance before the ship can actually sail. All right. If you are not a big drinker and don't feel the need to buy the alcohol package, stick to the drink of the day. It's usually the cheapest. It's not always the cheapest, but usually that's the deal. That's the drink that they have for the day, or that they will have a deal for the day. Drink packages can be purchased the first day of cruising, but no time after that. So if you're cruising for a couple of days and they're like, maybe I really should have gotten the drink package, it's too late. They will also not prorate drink packages. You can't say, well, I only want a drink package for 3 days. No, you have to buy it for the whole thing. Consider getting the picture package. They are great pictures for Christmas, and then you don't have to sit and choose which ones you like while on board. You guys, I'm a huge all of my family photos, they all come from cruise ships because the sitting fee is free. There's a ton of backgrounds, plus their packages are pretty cool. Our last one, for so many pictures we got a free canvas. So I actually have 2 canvas photos, family photos on our wall. Plus they get a lot of really, really great shots for you. The other really cool thing too is if you buy a picture package, you get, depending on which one you buy, I always buy the top one, but if you take a picture, any picture that you or anybody in your cabin is in, you are able to get that picture. So say you're traveling with a group, as long as somebody in that main cabin is in the picture, you're able to add that picture to your pile. The picture package, you can actually purchase pre-cruise, or you can purchase it on the ship. Just remember that anything that you buy pre-cruise, before you like online about a month before, is usually going to be cheaper than buying it on the cruise ship. The casino takes cash. If you gamble, bring cash so you don't have to ensue international withdrawal fees ATM. As soon as the ship sets sail, be sure to turn your cell phones to airplane mode. Roaming charges are expensive. You will go off of satellite, which is international, and trust me, you don't want that bill. If traveling with a group, think about investing in walkie-talkies to communicate when you aren't in your stateroom. The space under your bed perfectly fits your unpacked suitcases. Cabins are small. Use the space wisely. Leave the stilettos at home unless you want to break an ankle when the ship suddenly sways. You guys, I know that they're cute. I know they're awesome. I can't tell you how many times I've seen ladies wobbling all over the place it's a little bit of a heavier sea. Christina, yes, you can use the Wi-Fi. Again, it's airplane mode and then connect to Wi-Fi. And then anything you can do over Wi-Fi is absolutely fine. Just make sure that your phone is always on airplane mode and you'll be okay, because then it's not using your service. Bring a crossover bag or fanny pack to carry small items around the ship. This usually holds my phone because I use it for a camera, chapstick, tissue, hand sanitizer. That way you don't have to have it in your pockets. Laundry is not free, and very few ships have a laundry mat. If taking a long cruise, invest in a scrub-a-wash bag. I do have the link here. You guys can also just look up scrub-a-bag. But basically, it's not huge. It's not like you're doing a full load of laundry. But if you're taking a bigger, like a longer cruise and you don't want to pack a ton of underwear, this is a great thing for you guys to wash your underwear. So, and again, this is something because I, again, was on an 18-day cruise. We were actually on vacation for a month. So how do you pack a month's worth of chones? So that's huge. So what we ended up doing was we actually did we did some laundry in the cruise, like inside our cabin. And because we had a balcony, we actually we brought some rope and clothespins. So we were able to dry our clothes on the balcony. Because a lot of times it's like, they give you these bags and they'll wash and dry and fold this bag of laundry for $30. And it's not a huge bag. It's like those little bags that you have in a hotel. Bring cash if you wish to tip at the end of the cruise above and beyond your paid gratuities. Remember that you're already paying gratuities, but a lot of times people will, if there was like a waiter or like your waiter at the main dining hall, maybe you want to throw him a couple extra dollars. Maybe you have like a pool deck attendant that was super awesome. You're able to give him, more gratuities. And just remember that cash is gold to these people because they live on the cruise ship for X amount of months. And so that's a way for them to have, fun money. Check in as early as possible to beat the lines and begin your vacation ASAP. Now, I did a lot of research on this because this is my personal belief. If they say check-in starts at 10, I'm there at 9:45. Because I want to get on that cruise ship and start my vacation as soon as possible. Some people say wait till an hour before you have to be there to do it. That would drive me crazy. I don't like to rush things. So I'm one of those people, I'd rather get there early and have it all, I'm eating and drinking and I'm having a good time. Let's see. If you aren't catching a flight till later, or maybe not even till the next day, opt for the late disembarkation because you guys, I always laugh. I said, we are literally like the last people off the ship. I want every ounce of my vacation. But two, it makes finding your luggage when you get off the ship so much easier because if you're the first one off, you have to go through 4,000 suitcases. So get off as late as possible. So our scheduled time is 2. Can we get there at 10 and try to get on earlier? You can, but I know with COVID, they're being a little bit more strict with check-in and check-out times. But you guys, I'm always one of those people. What's the worst thing they're going to say is no. Let's see. Every cruise line allows you to bring a certain amount of alcohol beverages on board. Check with your specific cruise line. Now, when I say that, I mean like at embarkation, meaning like Carnival will allow each person to bring a 12-pack of soda, canned soda, and a bottle of wine. So depending on how we are about our, how we're feeling about drinking or spending money, we'll bring some wine and a box of Sprite, and we'll make mixers in our room. You know, the one thing I do want to tell you guys is don't think, oh, I'm going to bring the mixer and then I'm just going to go get a shot of, you know, tequila or whatever, you know, vodka or whatever, and save money that way. You guys, they're actually, when you're paying for drinks on the cruise ship, you're actually paying for the alcohol, not the mixer. So that kind of blew up in our face the last time. So you're going to be spending the same amount, but absolutely make sure to use that. The other thing is that if for some, like say you're in Mexico and you buy a great bottle of tequila, you're not going to be able to drink that tequila on board. They're actually going to confiscate it from you and give it back to you at the end of the cruise. So don't think, oh, I'm in Mexico, I'm going to buy alcohol, be able to drink it on board, and you can't. How much time should you allow to disembark the ship and get to the airport? You guys, I always say don't book a flight before noon. Now, if you have a flight around noon, then you're going to need to make sure to be first off the ship. I usually book my flights around 5 or 6 o'clock at night. That way I don't have to stress. I don't like stressing, you guys. That ruins a vacation like that. Check in as early possible. Remember that highlighter I said to pack? I know everybody kind of laughs at me when I say that, but that's to mark on your daily paper schedule the things you want to do the next day. So they're going to give you like this paper thing in your room, and it's going to give you all the shows, all the everything that happens. And what we do is when we get back to our cabin, we'll actually go through with the highlighter and highlight all the things that we want to do the next day. And then we make sure to put that in that pouch or crossover bag to keep with us. Pack more hangers. There's never enough. There are never enough hangers in the closet. Steamers, irons, and some flat irons are prohibited on the ship. If you're going to chance it, hide them between dense rubber shoes. Now, you guys, I bring my steamer everywhere. Literally, I bring my steamer everywhere, and I will literally disconnect it, and because it comes apart, I'll take it apart, and I will put like one piece in one suitcase. I'll put the other piece in a different suitcase. And I will wrap it up in an article of clothing, and I'll stick it between shoes because I need my steamer. So yes, there's some ideas for that. Decorating your cabin door is not only fun, but helpful. This is actually our cabin door that we had for our honeymoon. This little thing right here, it is actually something that we purchased on Etsy. It was a magnet, and that's actually on our fridge now. But this is something that, you know, it's helpful. You're walking down this corridor, all you see is nothing but doors, and you're having to wait, you know, see your number. But it's easier if you have some kind of decoration on your door. That way you're just walking along, oh, that's my room. And people do, you know, really fun things with it. You know, you can do it for birthdays, anniversaries, honeymoons, couple getaways, bachelorette parties, girl trips, family reunions, weddings. It's even a spot to write notes or people to take your business card, right? We're not secret agents. We're always thinking about how to share our business. So absolutely, you guys, put some advertisement on that door, put some business cards for people. I've actually seen some doors that they'll do like photo, you know how there's like photo booths or whatnot, where like there's things for them to take pictures with. But have fun with it. There's lots of great things. I really like the whiteboard thing. Somebody will get like a magnetic whiteboard and put it on the door, and they can leave little notes, like maybe for notes for like maybe their cabin attendant, or maybe like, hey, headed to the pool, see there at 3 or whatever. So a great place for notes. Yes, Ed, this will be recorded, and I will make sure to get it out to you guys. Now, important documents, you guys, this is super, super helpful. I was a pre-law major, so I'm pretty like, documents is something very close to my heart, but also I have lived a lot of these situations, and so it's from personal experience that I have made this list. Always make sure, obviously, to have your passport and visa. Make sure that you bring a copy and leave a copy at home. Always make sure there is a copy of your passport at home left with somebody, or at home where somebody can get access to it while you're on vacation. Now, marriage certificate, this isn't required, but I bring it and a copy just in case. If you are traveling with a child that you are not the legal guardian for, make sure you have a letter from the legal guardian that has been notarized, giving permission for you to make medical decisions between certain dates. Make sure they specify their wishes in the letter. Now, you guys, I'm telling you this because, again, both sides of it. I've been a paramedic for 14 years. And when it comes to treating a minor in an emergency situation, I'm going to do whatever I can, however it needs to be. But we will need these documentations, especially the hospital, when it comes to medical decisions, and exactly what needs to be done. So make sure you have that, that letter with you and notarized. You guys, I can't stress the notarized portion of this. I actually was a notary at one point in my life. I swear I've lived many hats, and I've notarized many of these letters. It's because it's unable to be forged, right? So you want to make sure to have it notarized. If you are traveling with your child and the other parent isn't traveling, make sure that you have legal court documents or a letter notarized by the other parent giving permission to travel outside of the country. I will tell you guys, when I took the train to Canada, when we got into Vancouver, we got off the thing and they wanted to see all of our paperwork. They asked me for my custody paperwork, and they actually made sure that I had legal custody, legal, physical, whatever custody of my son. So make sure that you have that documentation. If you are a widow or widower, do you still need a copy of your marriage license? No, you guys, marriage license is just something that I do. It's just I honestly, you guys, I have this thing right here. I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera. I literally have this thing, it's zipped up. All of my important documents live here. My passports are here, all of my social security cards, my passports, marriage certificate, court docs, legal documents, marriage certificate, literally anything and everything that I need is in here. So I can literally just grab it and go. So make sure, to do something like that. But if you're traveling with a child, again, make sure that you have that documentation, because you don't want to get into the next country and then be like, nope. Now I will tell you, Canada is the only one that has ever asked to see it. And I have been to 14 plus countries with my son. Bring a copy and leave a copy with someone of your itinerary. I don't know if this is paranoia. I don't know if this is just being overly prepared, but I always want people to know. I want them to know where I'm at, and all of those types of things. So those are just some of those important documents that I absolutely suggest that you have with you. And that is the end of my slides. I know we've ran over just a little bit, but does anybody have any questions about what I have posted? Any questions? All right, you guys.